Hi everyone, welcome back to Sports Company and another episode of Candid Football Conversations. Today we're here to talk about the Durand Cup, joined by usual suspects Cheyenne and Harry. Arnava, like always, we're co-hosting this, and thanks for joining. Well, how are we looking at this tournament? Do you think it's an opportunity for a lot of youngsters to play? Should clubs look at it in a way that, you know what, let's just go and win the tournament. Let's get off to a good start in the season. Arnava, I'll come to you first. How would you look at this sort of tournament, the first real tournament of the season?
It depends on what your preparations are like. We've got three clubs who are preparing for continental competitions, which are Mumbai City FC in the Champions League. They arrived in Kolkata around midnight from Bangkok with their first team, so they use it as a full preparation per se. Then you have Odisha FC and Mohun Bagan Supergiant, who both are playing in the AFC Cup. Mohun Bagan still has to play the qualifiers, so they will most probably play with the reserve side. Odisha FC have already announced that they're going to be playing with the reserve side. I'm hearing that BFC, Rahul, your club, FC Goa, they might also give some of the younger players a chance. While I guess Shayan's club, East Bengal, is likely or try to will to field the best possible 11. So therefore, different strategies, different approaches. We've got the under 23 AFC Asian Cup in there. We've got then the whole topic of Asian Games, what we were discussing last week, or we discussed over the weekend, Rahul, as well. It will be very, very interesting of how the clubs plan and strategize, because the next 2 months are going to be amongst the busiest months that Indian football has ever experienced. So therefore, that will be very, very interesting to see. But Durand Cup, I think most of the teams would like to use it as a preparation for the ISL. Others are using it as an exposure to also check, is there the one or the other youngster in my squad who might get into the senior team. So therefore, those kind of things are going to be tried out. And as I said, Mumbai City are coming, as Des Buckingham said, we're going to Durand Cup to try and win it. So let's see what these different teams try and do.
Shan, how does it look? What does East Bengal look like? What kind of squad are they fielding? Are you happy with it?
See, official Rahul, officially the team has not been announced till now.
Yeah.
What I know is that Clayton Silva and two of the foreigners, they are supposedly likely to join by first week of August. Means that will be by 10th. What I'm hearing, they may join, and they have registered both the foreigners, the defenders, that they are very much needed. But East Bengal, as Ornav correctly said, East Bengal will feel the best possible level, because this is a golden opportunity for a team like East Bengal to have some outside chance doing well in this competition, because many of the teams, barring Mumbai City FC and somewhat Mohun Bagan and Orissa, I think, who would be taking this very serious because for their preparation for the AFC competition. I think the rest of the teams, what I can see or understand, they will be taking it as a preparation for the ISL. They will be fielding some junior side team, and that's a good opportunity for East Bengal if they're able to field a stronger team and get a result out of them. But Quadrat and the team in Kolkata, what I've seen in that they are planning it. They will field the best possible level. There is no chance that they are taking it as an experimentation and giving chances to youngsters. They will possible level.
Shan, just one more question. Do you think yours is the toughest group in the entire tournament? Is it the toughest group according to you?
If you ask me, it is one of the toughest group. But if you want to go to the semi-finals, you have to be good enough to go to the semi-finals. We
Yeah.
can't complain that it's the toughest group, it is the easiest group, but we have to admit that if you are good enough, you have to qualify. And being Mohun Bagan in the same group, I think it will be very, very tough. It will be very, very tough for us. But who knows? Football is a 90 minutes game, and we know many times shocking games results have happened. You never know. And so let's at least this time before the World Cup, I'm at least happy that there has been somewhat of preseason, of not much, but at least better than last year. But last year was pathetic. If you compare the last year to this year, I think East Bengal is in a better shape than last year.
Yeah. Harry, we're going into the derby. We have the Kolkata derby ready for us. How exciting is that going to be? We're going to get this quite early in the season. Are you looking forward to it?
I think two back-to-back derbies. I think in CFL also. I think 14th August is a derby day, and in Durand Cup is on 12th of August. So I think
12th
for the
August.
Kolkata football fans, I think there is a no better ways to, you can say, ki celebrate, and back-to-back derbies. And this time, I think the, you can say, the एक्साइटमेंट इन दी कोलकाता इज आई थिंक ऑन अनदर लेवल. आई थिंक जिस तरह से आप देखिए सीएफएल मैचेस में जिस तरह से क्राउड हो रहा है, आई थिंक अगर अब जब ये मेन टूर्नामेंट आ रहे हैं आईएसएल एंड दुरांत कप में, आई थिंक दुरांत कप में भी हमें वही तरह का जो रिस्पॉन्स है वो दोनों ही क्लब की ओर से देखने को मिल जाए. कल ही पता चल जाएगा वैसे तो कि मोहन बगान का ही कल पहला मैच है बांग्लादेश आर्मी के सामने, तो वहाँ पे ही पता चल जाएगा कि कितना क्राउड एक्साइटेड है और जिस तरह से सारी चीज़ें इस सीजन के लिए अच्छी हुई है. तो डेफिनेटली आई थिंक डर्बीज का तो आई थिंक दुरांत कप में प्रॉपर तरीके से ख्याल रखा गया है, जिस तरह से ग्रुप भी बनाए गए हैं, प्रॉपर ये फोकस किया गया है कि डर्बीज भर भर के दे ताकि फैंस को भी एक क्या बोलते हैं कि जो एक्साइटमेंट है और जो चाहिए वो मिले. साउथर्न डर्बी है आपके पास, केरला की डर्बी है, सब कुछ उन्होंने रख दिया है, सब कुछ आपको दे दिया है. तो फैंस के लिए इससे एक्साइटिंग आई थिंक ग्रुप्स भी हो नहीं सकते थे जिस तरह से ग्रुप का भी अलॉटमेंट हुआ है. एंड आई थिंक इंटरेस्टिंग इसलिए भी है कि इस बार आईएसएल भी थोड़ा सा अर्ली स्टार्ट हो रहा है, तो काफी सारे क्लब्स इसको और भी ज्यादा, मतलब कुछ क्लब ऐसे भी है कि जो रिबिल्ड फेज में गए, जैसे ईस्ट बंगाल में पूरा नया कोचिंग स्टाफ आया है, कुछ प्लेयर अपने नया है, तो वो अपनी जैसे सेन भाई ने बोला कि फर्स्ट टीम लेके जाना चाहते हैं. एफसी गोवा भी देखिए पूरा कोच नया है, काफी स्टार्टिंग 11 में काफी सारे प्लेयर्स उन्होंने नए साइन किए हैं, दे ऑल्सो गो विथ फर्स्ट टीम. फिर मोहन बगान एंड मुंबई सिटी के पास तो रीजन है कि भाई आप एफसी कॉम्पिटिशन में जा रहे हो इसलिए फर्स्ट टीम लेके जा रहे हो. उड़ीसा एफसी का मेरे को सरप्राइजिंग डिसीजन लगा थोड़ा सा कि वो यहाँ पे जो बी ये बी टीम भी नहीं मानूंगा जो उन्होंने उतारी है, आई थिंक वो सी टीम टाइप है, क्योंकि कुछ तो बहुत ही लोकल प्लेयर है वहाँ के. तो ये थोड़ा सा मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया कि जो उनकी फर्स्ट टीम है वो पूरी उन्होंने बैंकॉक भेज दी है, तो कोई भी प्लेयर वहाँ से अवेलेबल नहीं है. तो एक उनका थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट स्ट्रेटेजी है. बाकी आप देखिए हैदराबाद एफसी के नए कोच है, तो उनकी भी स्ट्रेटेजी वो भी ट्राई आउट करना चाहेंगे थिंग्स बिफोर गोइंग टू द आईएसएल. चेन्नई एफसी का सेम रीजन है, लेकिन ओएन कोयल अभी आया नहीं है आई थिंक अभी तक, तो लेट्स सी वो कब तक ज्वाइन करते हैं. नॉर्थ ईस्ट यूनाइटेड का आप देख लीजिए, आई थिंक दे आर आल्सो ऑन द रिबिल्ड फेस. तो आई थिंक काफी सारे क्लब्स ऐसे भी है कि जो इस बार मतलब अपनी टीम को क्या बोलते हैं कि आईएसएल से पहले चाहते हैं कि एक प्रॉपर उनको स्टार्टिंग 11 मिल जाए, तो उसलिए भी दुरान कप काफी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होने वाला है इस बार. मजा आई थिंक इट इज गोइंग टू बी रियली एक्साइटिंग टूर्नामेंट. एंड आई थिंक लास्ट पॉइंट एक बताना चाहूंगा कि इस बार आई थिंक काफी लंबे टाइम के बाद फॉरेन टीम्स भी वापसी हुई है, तो बांग्लादेश आर्मी एंड नेपाल आर्मी को भी आई थिंक एक अच्छा एक थोड़ा सा क्या बोलते हैं फैंस को देखने को मिलेगा नई चीज़ थोड़ी सी, क्योंकि जो नए फैंस है उन्होंने ये देखा नहीं है, तो उनके लिए एक नई चीज़ होगी.
Yeah, actually, I haven't seen it myself, so I'm actually quite excited to see it. Another FC Goa's second and Manolo's first Durand Cup. Do you think where do they stand? How do they look ahead of this competition?
Again, it's the interesting part is we're not very clear. Sadly, unlike in other competitions, there is no sort of pre-tournament info coming out from the clubs. Which team am I playing? Odisha was one of the few ones who actually openly said, "Listen, we are sending our as Harry very very rightly said, a sort of a third team." So I think Goa has made it a habit of sending sort of a mixed team, certain players from the first squad, certain players from the developmental team that they have as well, maybe some boys from the under 20s as well, so they could do that. I think for Manoro it's a chance to see which Indian boys to use or utilize or maybe bring in. So that's one. Jamshedpur have announced that Stephen Dias will be their coach going into the tournament. So that means that they will be fielding also most likely a mixed team. So it is very, very clear that a lot of teams are not yet ready. They do also realize the situation of the weather in the east and the northeast of India at this time of the year. It's monsoon season. It can be heavy grounds, not always so easy to play. So therefore, some of the teams are rather not risking their players, because the ISL is supposed to start around the 22nd of September.
Yeah, fair enough. Shan, any updates on the ticketing? Because I remember you had explained this. You get your tickets online, then you go and you pick it up before the game. What is the scene around the ticketing right now for Durand Cup?
Same. It has not changed this
Also,
time also. And the Abhishek has correctly said this is a huge mismanagement. And see, if in this century, if you are buying a ticket, I think online, then what is the reason for buying it online? Then one has to go to offline to collect it. Again, we have to go for the match day. So last day I was discussing the same thing. This is actually impacts the attendance of a game. the people say it's a security reason, but I think people have, I think Book My Show have the people for
No,
scanning the
no, no,
ticket.
no. Shayan, there is a reason which I guess at certain places you have to get your ticket stamped. So if you
Hmm.
go and do a digital ticket, or you have a ticket which is again, it might be old fashioned, but that's how the government of Bengal keeps a
आई
grip
थिंक
on things.
इंडिया वर्सेस पाकिस्तान जो क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप का है उसमें भी इस तरह का होने वाला है, न्यूज आ रही है कि देयर विल बी नो
Uh,
ऑनलाइन टिकट्स, आपको वहां से ऑफलाइन कलेक्ट करनी ही
Yeah,
पड़ेगी.
yeah, yeah.
So
that is
they
good, but
yeah,
but the reason they are saying is that local Bidhannagar police is not giving that issue
yeah,
that
yeah.
but
The
in this century.
every ticket is stamped by these guys. You like it, I like it, Rahul or Harry likes it, doesn't matter. That's their system. Is it right? Is it wrong? It's a different discussion, but they do it that way. So we have to live with it if we like it or not. Same thing. Again, I even in Bangalore, I needed a physical ticket to go to the stadium. So it's an Indian thing. In football, I don't in cricket as well. Again, even in Indian airport, I can't enter an airport with an e-ticket, a flight ticket. My boarding pass on international flights, I don't even print tickets anymore. I just show my phone, right? I've got it in my wallet. So therefore there are certain things, because of security reasons. Are they right, are they wrong? Again, we can discuss that. Those are the rules and regulations of the police commissionerate in Bidan Nagar, or in other places as well. So therefore that stamping still happens. So therefore, um, again, maybe someone needs to talk to the authorities and bring them into the 21st century and say, guys, this needs to be done differently. But again, they don't. Again, this is not something that you can blame on the Durand Cup organizers, or you can blame the
No, no.
IFA or AIFF or whatever, or even the
This
clubs.
is
Again, it creates hassles. It's unnecessary. I feel it's unnecessary in today's day and age. But again, these are the rules, and I don't think they're going to be changing them anytime soon.
Yeah, and again, back to derbies. Um, we've got Kerala Blasters against BFC. Now, very interesting game because Harry, I think if I'm not wrong, no Vukamanovic for this one. He's still serving his ban. So, how do you see this playing out, given the fact that he won't be there?
Yes, definitely he will be not there, and he already arrived in India, but he will be not in the bench. So I think let's see. Interesting है, और दूसरा केरला ब्लास्टर के लिए ये भी इंटरेस्टिंग है कि they lose some their you can say कि important players like Sahal Abdul Samad, Jessel Carnerio, and इन सब के जाने के बाद how they are going to response, and कितना यंगस्टर के ऊपर कौन कौन से यंगस्टर को मौका देते हैं, वो आई थिंक काफी फोकस रहेगा. क्योंकि उनका जो मतलब उनके जो स्पोर्टिंग डायरेक्टर का है, और उनका बार बार यही स्टेटमेंट आ रहा है जब भी कोई बड़ी साइनिंग बड़ी सेल करते हैं कि वी आर गिविंग अ चांसेस टू यंगर प्लेयर्स. तो लेट्स सी हाउ देयर यंगर प्लेयर्स आर गोइंग टू परफॉर्म, एंड क्या इसमें से कुछ प्लेयरों को वो मतलब ऐसे परफॉर्मेंस निकलती है कि हमको आईएसएल में भी देखने को मिलते हैं. आई थिंक विबिन भी अवेलेबल नहीं होंगे, आई थिंक वो भी यूरोप में है विद द आई थिंक ग्रीक टीम. तो वो भी एक बड़ा मिस है मेरे हिसाब से. उसके अलावा लेट्स सी कितने यंगस्टर को ये अपनी बी टीम से मौका देते हैं, देखते हैं. आई थिंक केरला ब्लास्टर का इंटरेस्टिंग केस रहेगा, क्योंकि फैन की नज़र भी अब आई थिंक फैन का जो पेशेंस लेवल है जिस तरह से सोशल मीडिया में और अब हो रहा है, आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं वो भी थोड़ा सा जिस तरह से ये लोग साइनिंग के लिए अप्रोच कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा सा वो पेशेंस कम होता जा रहा है. तो आई थिंक परफॉर्मेंस अगर नहीं आएगा दुरंत कप में, और फिर वो भी मतलब बेंगलुरु एफसी के सामने, तो आपको पता ही है कि एक अलग लेवल की राइवलरी बन चुकी है, और गोकुलम केरला के सामने भी डार्बी है आपकी. तो दोनों ही ऐसे मैच है कि वहां पे आपका अगर कोई मतलब 4-0 5-0 ऐसा कोई स्कोर लाइन हुआ, तो फिर आपको पता है कि फैन फिर छोड़ते नहीं है. क्लोज मार्जिन मार्जिन से हारो तो फिर भी लोग समझ जाते हैं कि चलो भाई फाइट तो दिखाइए. लेकिन कुछ ऐसा अगर ऊपर नीचे हुआ, देन इट विल बी देयर इज अ नो प्लेस टू हाइड वाला सीन हो जाएगा. तो इट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग टू सी हाउ केरला ब्लास्टर इज गोइंग टू परफॉर्म.
Arnav rightly said by Harry, there'll be no room for these guys to breathe in case they don't deliver performances. They've got two huge teams in their group. Who do you think makes it out of that group?
First of all, it depends on who is playing, because we also have the India under 23 camp at some stage as well, also starting. So that is something. So I don't know who's playing. So if I look at the teams, Gokulam Kerala have been also trading under the new Spanish coach, made some interesting signings as well. Um, and it's Blasters versus Gokulam Kerala first, before you meet BFC. So
Yeah.
therefore, for the Blasters, that already is a test. Gokulam, Kerala also has an advantage. They play their first match against Air Force, so they can get into that rhythm as well. So from that perspective, it's a mixed bag for all these teams. But looking so far at the signings and how the squads are placed, depending on who they play, I would think BFC are the strongest of the three if I look at them. So therefore, that would be sort of my pick, which should put a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Um, but again, this is cup football, despite group. But you've got one match, so therefore, again, and it's not in Bangalore, it's not in Kerala, so therefore, it will be a little different. So it'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah. Shine, any I League sides creating upsets? Do you see any of these I League teams doing really well?
If you ask me, I'm very interested. The team in East Bengal's group, I think roundless Punjab. I think Punjab FC is a team. I think I'm really looking forward how they play here. Today only we officially it is announced they are part of the ISL. Officially today it was announced, and I am very I will be very excited to see how they play because this team they have silently have made a very good team. Their team. I think the foreigners and the Indian players in the team is quite it's good. They have got players like Luka Magin, then they've got Edu Media. Then I think this is pretty good, pretty good. Nikhil Prabhu, Ravi Kumar. I think the team looks very good, and I think this is the I League team. I think who could make right noises at the right place. What I could see, at least in the Durand Cup. If you ask me one team, this would be my team.
Harry, any I League teams for you?
I think Punjab is now officially ISL teams, so I will not count them in I
Yes.
League. I will count my bet on the Mohammedan SC. I think they have built up a really good team, and I think I also expecting them to do well in this season I League. I think one of the contender for the I League this season, Mohammedan SC, the way they are build up their team, and Merajuddin Wadu is a good coach, and interesting to see Mohammedan SC. Also Delhi FC is also, and Rajasthan United. Four I League teams are participating. uh, Fourth one is, I think, ये तीन तो हो गई, चौथी कौन है? I think पंजाब एफसी ही थी ना.
Punjab FC is there.
Shillong
Then
Lajong.
you
शिलोंग लाइजोंग,
Mohammedan is there.
शिलोंग लाइजोंग,
Then
यस.
Gokulam,
मोहम्मदन
Gokulam and
एससे के
Shillong.
बाद सेकंड टीम जो मैं सबसे ज्यादा एक्साइटेड हूँ वो देखने के लिए, वो है शिलोंग लाइजोंग एफसी. जिस तरह से उसकी जर्नी रही है, कोई उसकी बात नहीं होती. लेकिन आप देखिए, राउंड आई लीग 2 के क्वालिफिकेशन के लिए उन्होंने प्लेऑफ राउंड खेला था, उसमें डाउनटाउन हीरोज जो कि ग्रुप डी में है, वो और शिलोंग लाइजोंग एफसी क्वालिफाई करके आई थी. और क्या बोलते हैं कि आई लीग 2 में क्वालिफाई किया. उसके बाद आई लीग 2 में भी आप क्या बोलते हैं कि क्वालिफाई करके आई लीग के लिए क्वालिफाई हुए. तो एक जबरदस्त जर्नी रही है शिलोंग लाइजोंग एफसी की, और उसका जो फैन बेस भी है, आई थिंक आईएसएल की काफी क्लब्स को टक्कर दे सकता है, ऐसा फैन बेस है. एंड स्टेडियम भी आई थिंक आपने उसका अगर देखा हो, आई थिंक बेहतरीन स्टेडियम है, मजेदार स्टेडियम है. तो आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग, मतलब मेरी जो होप है फॉर दी शिलोंग लाइजोंग एफसी, मैं चाहता हूँ कि वो अच्छा करे इस टूर्नामेंट में. एंड मोहम्मदन एससी मेरे को आई लीग में सबसे स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट अभी जो चार टीमें हैं उसमें मोहम्मदन एससी लग रहा है.
Arnava, what effect is the support going to play? Obviously, there is support for a certain part, a certain teams from the eastern side of the country. How much of a difference is it going to make?
It always makes a difference. Again, the Kolkata sides surely have an advantage of playing, you know, where they have a home advantage. Is that not only Mohun Bagan, East Bengal, but also Mohammedan per se as that as well. Guwahati is hosting a group with Northeast, Lajong, and Downtown Heroes. So that's going to be an interesting one. Again, Shillong is only 4 hours away, and then the Lajong fans in the past, in the I League days, used to love to travel as well. So therefore, again, it depends on what kind of squads these clubs announce in the coming days. And again, also Kokrajhar hosting a group. Maybe that is one of the reasons why Odisha did not pick the first team. Maybe not sure about the training facilities, about the match venue, about hotels and all that kind of stuff. That might be a serious reason for them to say, you know what, let's rather go to Thailand and do a proper preseason with the first team. And so therefore, this is how it is. I mean, we have to also say that due to the happenings in Manipur, Manipur sadly is off the list. Originally, Manipur was once again supposed to host um, at least one, maybe even two groups. And on the other side, that has also led to Neroka and Trao as I League teams to opt out. Neroka has been quite vocal about it, that for them, just the cost of playing the Durand Cup outstation is just too high. So therefore, they've opted out. So therefore, these are factors. These are the realities of India in 2023, which are impacting Indian football as well. So yeah, it's an interesting one for the home teams. And again, we've got interesting groups. I mean, we've got the Tribhuvan army from Nepal in Guwahati as well. I don't know, maybe the tribals might support them as well. So these are some interesting teams and some interesting groupings that we have. And again, whoever did this draw had a very, very lucky hand in putting East Bengal Mohun Bagan in a group, and Blasters with BFC and with Gokulam Kerala as well. So yeah, and of course the Northeast Lajongs and now Downtown Heroes in one group as well.
Yeah. Well, Shai has a question, and very interesting one, because I think this is not only with regards to Indian football, but I think globally as well. We have these preseason matches and like the first couple of weeks of our normal season during the transfer window. How much of a difference would it make if we had time to finish our transfer window and then get into the season, Shai? And what sort of a difference would that make? Should that happen in Indian football? We have Durand Cup after the transfer window?
Then I think Durand Cup will not happen. If you ask me, currently the calendar looks so jam packed. And Runauda correctly said when in the start of the program, we have the Asian Games camp also, which is coming up. Then we have many commitments. And ISL is starting on the third week of September. How it is possible? It's very, very difficult, Rahul. Because if you see now, once the Durand Cup is finished, we have the Kings Cup. So it's jam packed. I think this was the best possible time. If it's not happening now, then I think we could have played on May month, coming May 2025 May 24 May. And that is the time only I think it is possible to play, because I don't think there is any time left after this, because it's fully jam packed. Maybe for the World Cup qualifiers, then there is Asian Cup commitment of India. Asian Cup India will be playing. Then you have got ISL, full season of ISL to be played. And I don't think Durand Cup, it's the best possible time they have done. I think Durand committee has nothing much to offer in this case, at least in this year. I think from next year we can have a look on that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Shaggy means, because I think he's trying to hint at the fact that we could probably do it from next season. Is it possible? Is there any possibility? I'm throwing it out open to all of you guys, like anybody.
I think with an expanding ISL, you've got more match days in the ISL. You have two more match days this season. Instead of 20, you'll have 22 matches in the ISL. That is one. I still don't know how we are going to handle this whole thing with IPL in the future. That is one thing that the ISL has always ended before the IPL started. The IPL has also expanded in the recent past. Now it starts in March. It does not start in April. So that is another issue that is there. So those things are factors which need to be seen. And I think a general conversation need to be had is, are teams taking the Durand Cup seriously? Again, we see Odisha doing that there, but then the question can be asked: can such a tournament be held in Kokrajhar? So there are a little bit of an organizational issue, because if the AFC looks at this and says the three matches of the Durand Cup are counted towards your overall season, but you're actually playing a B or a C or whatever team, then it becomes an issue. So I think there needs to be a conversation between the AFF, FSDL, the clubs in the ISL, and of course with the army, to ensure that ideally the first teams play. But then the question is, where do you play and how do you play? Again, a place like Manipur, which was safe, was brilliant last season, lovely matches over there, full house games, currently is off limits. So therefore, then you have to figure out, it's monsoons as well. I think we should not forget that. So therefore, yeah, there's a lot of these factors which come in. And looking at international football, I think it was yesterday or day before, Jurgen Klopp said it, that he is worried at the moment that the transfer windows in Europe actually close earlier than the one in the Saudi Pro League. So it's not just a problem. The Premier League tried it a couple of years, was it a couple of years or 3 years ago, that the transfer window closed before the match day one. but the rest of Europe was still open. So preliminary players were leaving, so to say, on loan this, there, left, right, and center. You couldn't sign replacements. So therefore, that is something. Again, our transfer window has been like this for a while. That we say 1st of June till end of August. So again, that's a question. Do we shift the season by a month and start 1st of July as most of the rest of the world does? But that's more of a general, governance strategy conversation in regard to how, uh, um, who want to play.
Yeah. Guys, is there a possibility that we could invite teams from outside, given that this is a preseason competition, kind of, or if can it become a competition wherein we can get teams from outside?
I think मेरे
Yeah.
हिसाब से आउटसाइड से ज़्यादा आई थिंक द फोकस शुड बी how many more I League clubs can also participate in the Durand Cup. That should be the focus rather than inviting outside clubs, because I think Durand Cup को एक कहीं ना कहीं अब डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा आई थिंक इवेंचुअली कि आपको इसको प्री सीजन टूर्नामेंट ही मतलब बनाना पड़ेगा. देयर इज अ नो अदर ऑप्शन. या तो फिर आपको कुछ इसमें और वैल्यू ऐड करनी पड़ेगी, जो कि मेरे को तो पॉसिबल होता हुआ दिख नहीं रहा है. और आपने जो सीजन की भी बात की, मेरे हिसाब से जो प्रेसिडेंट साहब का भी कुछ टाइम पहले जो स्टेटमेंट आया था कि ही ऑल्सो थिंकिंग दैट कि भाई मई मंथ से हम सबको पता है कि इंडिया में जो जिस तरह की डेमोग्राफिक है, इतनी ज़्यादा गर्मी हो जाती है, ह्यूमिडिटी हो जाती है, इट कांट पॉसिबल टू ऑर्गेनाइज मैचेस इन देयर सच अ कंडीशन. तो मेरे हिसाब से आई थिंक मई, जून एंड जुलाई, आई थिंक दिस 3 मंथ आर इनफ टू दी, मतलब आप उसमें पूरा आपका जो ट्रांसफर विंडो रेस्ट करा सकते हो. एंड अगस्त से आप जैसे मान लीजिए कि इस बार अगस्त से जैसे हो रहा है, तो अगस्त से आप दुरान कप कीजिए, सितंबर से आप आईएसएल स्टार्ट कीजिए. आई थिंक दैट वुड बी द बेस्ट सिनेरियो. सितंबर से अप्रैल तक आप आईएसएल रखिए आगे, क्योंकि टीम भी बढ़ेगी ऑब्वियसली. एंड मैं चाहूंगा कि नेक्स्ट सीजन से आई लीग की भी टीमों को यहाँ पे चांसेस ज़्यादा मिले. सिर्फ ऐसा ना हो कि 12 टीमें आपकी आईएसएल की, तो उनको तो स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड मिल रहा है, लेकिन आप देखिए 4 ही टीम आई लीग की जा रही है. तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि आगे आने वाले टाइम में आई लीग की भी और क्लबों को मौका मिले, एंड ताकि उनको भी एक आईएसएल क्लब्स के सामने खेलने का मौका मिले, एक्सपोजर मिले उनको भी, उनके प्लेयरों को भी. तो रादर देन आउटसाइड क्लब्स, आई विल फोकस ऑन दी आई लीग टीम्स की उसका पार्टिसिपेशन कैसे बढ़ाया जाए. बिकॉज देखिए वो
Yeah.
पार्टिसिपेट करेंगी तो वो चाहेंगे कि वो अपनी फर्स्ट टीम भी भेजेंगी. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आईएसएल की तरह की मोस्ट ऑफ द क्लब्स आर गोइंग विद द बी टीम्स, क्योंकि उनको आईएसएल क्लब के सामने खेलने को मिल रहा है, तो वो दिखाना चाहते हैं, तो वो सारी चीजें भी एक फैक्टर एड इन हो जाएगा, और उनके फैंस भी ज्यादा एक्साइटेड हो गए कि हाँ भाई आईएसएल क्लब के सामने मुकाबला हो रहा है. तो एक अलग लेवल का आप हाइप अप क्रिएट कर सकते हो उसके अराउंड. तो दैट्स व्हाई मेरे को लगता है कि आई लीग और भी ज्यादा आई लीग टीम्स होगी तो मजा आएगा.
Yeah. Um, another question from Agnev. He's asking if, say, we give them an AFC Cup slot, the winners of the Durand Cup, will that not make it more competitive? But that becomes problematic because your window itself hasn't closed yet, right?
Independent of the window, the Durand Cup per se is not a tournament which can give you a continental slot. The continental slot is either given by your national league or by your national cup. National Cup per se was Super Cup. Now, again, I'm still not very clear if it's going to be the Federation Cup per se. That is one. And coming back to that invitation of Southeast or West Asia, there are, I think, 2-3 pointers. The West Asians are mainly training here in Europe, so they're mainly here in Germany and Austria training. That's where, or Switzerland. That's where they do their preseason. So I don't see them coming to India. I think they might have come over across maybe for a one-off match, but not for playing 4-5 matches in a tournament. That's one. And the Southeast Asians are already mainly back in their league system, league season. So therefore, the option doesn't arise. And coming back to the slot, I think the idea of what the Durand committee has done is, of course, give slots to the Indian Army, to the Indian Navy, to the Indian Air Force, ensure that they've invited army sides from neighboring countries. So I'm not very sure if it makes sense to invite the Bangladesh army or the Nepal army. I would have rather preferred the Basundara Kings, so to say, from Bangladesh coming and playing in this tournament, to add quality. But again, this is also an outreach and a PR program. Bhutan was supposed to be present also with their army, and now Downtown Heroes has taken their slot. So therefore, again, there are certain compulsions
But
that the organizers have.
Arunava sir, I think the main reason for inviting the army teams is because the main you can say कि starting point of Durand Cup is the army teams. Start ही आर्मी टीम से हुआ था, वो तो फिर जनरलाइज क्लब्स के लिए उन्होंने अलाउ किया, नहीं तो जो पहले जो इंग्लिश काउंटी जो रेजिमेंट की टीम्स थी और इंडियन आर्मी टीम को ही उन्होंने स्टार्टिंग में जब 1880s में जब स्टार्ट हुआ, तो दैट्स व्हाई डोंट यू थिंक कि दिस बांग्लादेश आर्मी और नेपाल
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
आर्मी.
No. The organizer of the Durand Cup till today, till
हाँ
date, is the Indian Army. It has been
हाँ
and it
यस.
is. So the army is the organizer. So that's what I'm saying. उसका outreach program हो रहा है ना. So the neighboring countries के साथ Bangladesh army आ रहा है, Nepal army आ रहा है, Bhutan was invited, could not come with the army team. So therefore, they're inviting rather those army teams than, let's say, the top teams, club sides from Nepal or from Bangladesh. Which would have given in a different touch if you had invited, let's say, the top team from Bangladesh, from Nepal, maybe even, I don't know, from Maldives, from Sri Lanka, whatever, to give it a sort of a South Asian touch. That might be something which might make the Durand Cup even more interesting. But again, it's a combination of these both facts that you have. That you have the army organizing it and the army doing it. If you've been following, the army has been sending the trophy all over India to showcase the trophy and all these things. They do a trophy roadshow or trophy tour per se. So the army does quite a bit in and around the Durand Cup. And think about it that now, for the last few years, if I'm not wrong, 2019 I was there when Gokulam had won the Durand Cup in Kolkata. That before that the tournament used to be held in first in Shimla and then in Delhi. So it was not even a tournament which used to be held in Kolkata. So it's shifted over there over the last few years. So therefore, and they've expanded it quite a bit and done it a little differently. And it was asked to do the group stage because again, 3 matches in Durand add to the overall Asian number of matches tally of Indian clubs. So therefore, there's a number of factors why the tournament currently is being organized the way it is organized.
I don't know, just a follow up. When it's a matter of tradition and you want to improve your league, like how hard is it to pick between the two? How do you decide?
It's a hard one because the Durand has, it's the oldest tournament in India, the third oldest in the world. And I wanted to thank Hiren, who has to leave for something else. So thanks, Hiren or Curious Harry, for joining us three for this latest episode of Candid Football Conversations. So therefore, there's the tradition. There is the army does it in a certain way. Certain clubs see it falls into their pre-season plans. Mumbai City again did their pre-season in Bangkok. Now have come to Kolkata, will train in Kolkata, will play in Kolkata, and utilize the Durand Cup as much as they can. Odisha group in Kokrajhar, again, I don't know how the facilities are over there, to be very honest. Therefore, Odisha decided to think, okay, listen, for us, it makes more sense. We send the first team to Thailand to train. We've got AFC Cup commitments, and on the other side, send a reserve team with some younger boys, even younger boys, into that tournament. So use it exposure. So therefore, different teams use it in different ways, and that's, I think, the big challenge of running the Durand Cup.
Shan, what sort of impact could a knockout tournament have? Do you think it would be beneficial for the Durand to become a knockout tournament, or there should be a set number of games for these teams to play because it's a preseason tournament?
No, I would rather have the same right now. The same, we need to have more games for the preseason, and we have Federation Cup, or the, I don't know, Federation Cup will happening or not, but Super Cup knockout tournaments are needed, but I don't think for the preseason tournament should be a tournament where team gets a lot of chance to play. This is very important for the team to gel before the ISL starts, and I think Mumbai City FC and Mohun Bagan would have their AFC Cup commitments, and Odisha also. But I think right now how the Durand committee has planned, I think this is fine. I think this gives us more opportunities. Our players have that game time, which is very much needed. And as Arunauda was saying that more and more season when the ISL teams will grow, I think we'll have more and more matches happening, and that's very important. For knockout tournament, I think one cup competition is enough for that. We should not have too much of knockout tournaments happening.
Well, Agnev, I think we've already taken this question. The guys have already mentioned their picks. For Cheyenne, it's Punjab FC. Harry mentioned Mohammedan, and Anwar, you said Shillong Lajong could be exciting, if I'm not wrong.
Shillong Lajong is an exciting team as an I-League team. Again, Shine has mentioned Punjab FC, but Hiren has, of course, corrected him because uh, um,
It's not no longer an I-League team.
Punjab FC is now a team playing in the ISL. So therefore, maybe Shine needs to reconsider his options of I-League teams in the competition. But I think again, yes, Mohammedan has a home advantage. Has already played a few games in the Kolkata League, some tough games in the Kolkata League. I think that with all that is happening, so therefore I think it's an interesting scenario, and therefore yeah, I'm yeah.
Shine, we didn't come back to you after. After Harry said that it was Punjab FC are actually in the ISL. So, who is your I-League pick? Like, which team is your I-League pick?
See, if you ask me, I would always say that I don't consider Mohammedan have played a few of the games in Kolkata, but level they have played in Kolkata League is totally different in what they will play in Durand Cup. I think if you see when they will be up against Mumbai City FC or a Mohun Bagan with the full stream, I think they would have their jobs cut out. So I actually, if you ask me, barring Punjab FC, who have already qualified for ISL that in this season, so barring that team, I don't think any team posing any threat to the ISL clubs. If you ask me personally, because I don't think if you see the Super Cup also, I think barring Sri Deccan and somewhat round glass Punjab, who is right now the Punjab FC, were able to put out some fight, but I don't see any other clubs. If I consider Mohammedan also, I don't think they are so good to outbeat a team like Mumbai City FC.
If Arnava, well, it all kicks off tomorrow. I think Mohun Bagan play the first game against Bangladesh Army. How do you see this playing out? Your just quick, like a quick preview, if I could.
Well, as far as I know, Mohun Bagan Supergiant will play a reserve side, maybe strengthened by the one or the other player from the first team squad. It looks likely that Basta Broy will be coaching that team as he has done in the Calcutta Football League, and that there's no Juan Ferrando or new signing Clifford Miranda on the bench. So that's that. Interesting to see if they put in some of their foreigners into the mix. That would be interesting to see. Bangladesh Army is totally unknown to me. So again, I think to all of us, it's sort of a guessing game of where to uh, rate them or not. But again, looking even at the reserve team of Mohun Bagan Supergiant, they should be able to beat Bangladesh Army and get off to a successful start.
I actually wanted to ask you guys. Well, the second game, which is on Friday, is Northeast against Shillong Lajong. What sort of an atmosphere can we expect for this game? Is it going to be like some of the, close rivalries that we have in other parts of the country and Kolkata also? Shan?
There would be rivalry, but what I've seen, Northeast fan, the Highlander Brigade have lost some of its team because due to their recent performance, which has not been up to the mark. But I really hope that they play really well this season. I think under a new technical team they have got in with Mandar Tamane joining in, Nausad Musa part of the setup. They brought in a very good coach. So I think, and they've done. I think they did very good in getting few of the good players from ISL and I League. If you see, they've got in Dinesh and Falguni, and then they got Reem Dalang from FC Go. I think they have made a quite decent team this season. So I hope Northeast does well, and it will be very good for the Guwahati team to do well this time because they have been struggling for a lot of time. So this rival will come across. You know that Silong Lajong have a good fan base. They have a very good fan base, and as Arunabha said previously, they used to travel a lot also. I'm interested to see how the official turnaround would be, because last year, if you remember, in Durand Cup, all the Northeast games played in Northeast were sold out, literally sold out. Compared to Kolkata, the response for the Durand Cup was better than Kolkata, than in the Northeast. Northeast did fare better in that way. So I'm expecting good turnaround for those games. So really excited. I think hope that both teams play a very good brand of football, and I expect Northeast to make some sort of comeback in this Durand Cup. Really expect, because it's they have a very loyal fan base because of their performance. It has not gone in the right direction, but Highlander Brigade, I want them to be back in the stands and supporting their best team, and I think this is a good opportunity for them to and this season they're in a reconstruction mode. I think they will do better this season. I'm very much sure. Don't consider Northeast last year and this year. This year, I think Northeast looks far more sorted for me.
Nice. Another favorite Durand Cup memory? Any particular game or moment that stood out for you?
I would think was it 206, 207, 207? I think the final. Or was it 207? I forgot about. In Delhi, with Novi Kapadia and myself as the commentators, with which was really enjoyable. I remember, semi-finals and finals. It was on NDTV at the time, so it was quite a big thing. Not on a sports channel, but actually on a national news broadcaster. So that is one. The other one would be with friends who've never watched football to watch Gokulam Kerala win in 2019. Yeah, 2019 in Kolkata. Friends of mine who've never seen football, so therefore those kind of thing. Yeah, that would have been sort of amongst my favorite sort of moments regarding the Durand Cup.
Shine, what about for you? Like any particular memories that stand out?
If you ask me, I think 2004. I think when East Bengal won the last time the Durand Cup, when we defeated Mohun Bagan 2-1 in the finals. I think that would remain my special memories for the Durand Cup. And another win, another edition. I think it was in 1996. I think when JCT defeated a team from, I think, Iraq, Al Nafat Sports Club 1-0. I think that was another good memory. A good Indian side defeating a Iraqi team. I think it was. I think in the year was 1997, right? Don't know the 1997 and Al Nafat was
96.
defeated. 96, right? When they defeated. I think that was the year. These two will be my fond memories for the Durand Cup.
I need to start opening my history textbooks because you guys are going
Yeah.
way, way back.
No. I just checked. It was 2007. Churchill Brothers versus Mahindra, and remember again because it was a fun thing to be there and watch the matches, and it was well attended, and it was sort of Churchill and Mahindra with their respective coaches. So therefore, yeah, it was fun in those days. Again, Durand Cup had lost a little bit of its sheen over the last sort of pre-COVID years. But again, I thought in 2019 when they decided to restart and to hold the tournament in Kolkata, Gokulam beating Mohun Bagan in the final, 2-1. Yeah, that was something because it was the start of Gokulam winning trophies. They won the I League after that twice as well. So therefore, that was an interesting game, and again, there've been multiple matches that I've attended over the years which were interesting, and therefore it's one of those tournaments which are good. And again, it's good that the Durand Cup is back, that the top teams are playing it, but again, I think there needs to be some sort of again, I would be very interesting to see how it could be maybe strengthened next year, that the ISL teams decide to field the first teams.
Yeah, guys, again, this is a question from my side. For both of you, how do you think the tournament's changed over the years? How do you think it's gotten better? Do you think it was better back in, say, the 2000s or the 90s?
See, it's a different thing now than it was in the past. It used to be held in Delhi, right? So it had its Ambedkar flair. I remember the first Durand Cup I went to. Novi Kapadia took me after that to Old Delhi. We went to Kareem's for a dinner. It was very, very special. And we've done that a few times over the years with the Durand. And so my memories are originally linked to the Durand Cup being in Delhi, and it was very special. Met a lot of people from the army who were always very, very proud to organize this football tournament, which was great to see that the army, whose job is something different than to organize football or sports, was there's so many passionate people in the army who wanted to organize this tournament every year, and they still do it. So therefore, that's a big thank you to the Indian Army for organizing the Durand Cup and continue to organize this tournament. And I would hope that it is held in the near future as well, and in the long term as well, because it is our oldest football competition per se, right? So therefore, I think there is something special about it. It is just that I think it needs a little bit of tweaking here and there, so that all the teams think and believe that this is the preseason tournament that you would like to play. I think Shaggy raised that point in regard to should it be rather a knockout tournament. It's an interesting thought process. There for certain teams, I think it's too many matches, and therefore, yeah. So therefore, that is something.
Shannon, what about you? How you seen it evolve or probably go the other way?
When I started watching, I think first Durand Cup which I watched, I think if I remember the year, it was I think it was '94. I think when Mohun Bagan won the Durand Cup, defeating East Bengal.
1894.
1994. 1994. That was the first Durand Cup which I watched in television that time. 1-0 when Mohun Bagan won that. I was very upset. But I've seen evolving Durand Cup a lot, because if you see 90s and early 2000 also, the atmosphere, what as Arunavada was saying, the atmosphere was totally different. It's totally different what we see now. Now teams are using this as a pre-season tournament, but that time I used to see team used to field their best possible 11. So the priorities have changed in Indian football. That is so sure. That though I can understand, but the flair and the atmosphere, I think they have started well from 2019. Again, they planned it to revamp it. They're trying their best to do it. So it's our job to support it. But I'll not criticize what was good or bad. But I would say that the Durand Cap's nostalgia is always remain in Kolkata, and I think in Delhi. I think uh, Durand Cup always used to remind me of the Delhi and Ambedkar Stadium, which is now it's not possible for some or the other reason. But Durand Cup of late has lost some of its shine. I would accept, because teams are also taking it as a preseason tournament, not like before. So let's see. I hope that tournaments gets better and bigger. I think that ways. I think as Arunavada was saying, and you were all Rahul, you were also saying, getting some teams from outside this outside of this country. I think getting a team from Bangladesh or in South Asia, any of the teams from South Asia can do wonders. So let's see. Let's be hopeful that this will always remain. But hope that Durand Cups goes back to the past glory, which is right now I see somewhat missing, and hype also, because today I was in the part of the ticketing system of Durand committee. I was hearing ticket sale in Kolkata is not to the expectation as it is should be.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Well, Shine, last question before we wrap up. How are you? Are you excited? What are you looking forward to most in this tournament?
See, Rahul, I'm very much excited that how this tournament, the teams actually who will feel their best possible 11, how they fare here. Because I'm very interested to see that how Mumbai City FC plays, because they will be playing in AFC Champions League next month, and Mohun Bagan also how they play. So these are the two teams I think who look bit stronger, but BFC and other teams also, Goa, who knows, on their day they can be also good. But I hope that this tournament lives up to our expectation, lives up to our expectation, because we don't know that what is in unfold after this. Because in the ISL, you will see a different team. We can't judge teams in the Durand Cup on performance of the Durand Cup in the ISL, but I think teams like it's a good opportunity for teams like Northeast United, East Bengal, who could do some trick in there, because they would be try to field their best possible 11, and I think they should do that, because if they are able to get out some or the good one or two good results from their group, who knows, that would add morale boosting factors for the rest of the season for them.
Well, guys, you heard it. You heard it from Arnav, you heard it from Shine, you heard it from Harry. That's all we have for today. Well, the Durand Cups. Oh, Arnav, you're back. Arnav, last question.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Yes.
yeah, I was into my final speech, but let's take it back. Arnav, just quick question. What are you expecting from this Durand Cup? Are you excited for it? What's something that you're really looking forward to from this tournament?
Think two or three things. Shayan just mentioned Mumbai City. I think I look forward to my former team. How prepared are they? They're still looking for the one and the other potential signing. So therefore, that will be interesting to see. How well are they prepared? In Bangkok, the conditions are somewhat similar to those of Kolkata. It's monsoon. The humidity levels are high. It's just that the pitches are a little better. That is one. I'd like to see how some of the ISL teams with their strongest lineups, how do they do? I guess East Bengal will most probably field a full team. Northeast can't afford to field a weekend side. I mean, it's happening in Guwahati. They're facing Shillong. They're facing downtown heroes. So therefore, they will have to also face a field a strong lineup. I'm interested to see if Mohun Bagan is able to field some of their foreigners, just to try some of them out, maybe give them a little run in before the AFC Cup qualifiers. So those are some of the things, and again, the season is starting. The season proper is starting. I know that the Calcutta Football League has been running for a few weeks now, but to me, tomorrow is sort of like a proper kickoff to the top level of Indian football, and that's great to see that finally that day has arrived, that the 23-24 season is ready to properly kick off.
Well, guys, we're underway from tomorrow onwards. Mohun Bagan against Bangladesh Army. Catch the Durand Cup, watch it, and again, thanks so much, Shine. Thanks, Arunava. Like, share, and subscribe to Sports Khabri, to Arun Foot, Indian Food and Football, and to Curious Harry. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Arunava. Thanks, Shine. Good night.
Thanks, everyone, and
Thank you.
see you and hear you guys very, very soon.